So, for my Genius Hour project, I decided to look at the similarities between school and prison institutions. The idea is to be able to see whether or not the physical structure and militarization of a school is going to cause students to be, well, inmates. However, the issue is up for debate. Governor Rauner of Illinois actually called Chicago public schools a crumbling prison in the second week of June of 2016. Students, teachers, parents all were infuriated by this because, honestly, they lack funding. This response actually ignited a Twitter hashtag, not a prison, and students and teachers and parents were voicing their displeasure with the fact that their governor doesn't even understand the implications for what he said. Yes, we do have a school to prison pipeline that is funded primarily by the lack of funding for public education, but the argument they have, which directly ties into my research, is that their students are not inmates and do not deserve to be treated as such. So now we turn to look at the middle school. In terms of the physical structure of schools, Rauner was not wrong calling some schools. All too often, it seems, our schools are organized and their physical structure created for ease of convenience, particularly in terms of maintenance. Middle schools are highly controlled environments. This is evident by the artificial lighting, the linoleum floors, the concrete walls that are easy to maintain. You can see a clear example of this in Dean Rusk Middle School, as pictured. Although the hallway looks neat and clean, it doesn't really function as a place of comfort or home that students thrive in. In addition to a physical building that is bleak, organized, yet also highly controlled in environment, schools have an increased militarization, including this zero tolerance policy, which is enacting school resource officers and creating criminal charges for petty offenses. Looking at the prison side of things, you can see that the highly centralized as well as increased militarization that we see in our prisons occurs just as frequently as you see it in today's American schools. We have 40% of American schools with resource officers these days. And while that's not necessarily a bad thing, the purpose of a resource officer is typically to keep this law and order system. However, if you see things the way Adora sees them, then these limitations put on our children do not increase their potential. Phillips agrees, and even the DCP report would go as far as to say that students need to take ownership in their room and creating a space that they feel is home to be able to go further with their education. Going forward, it seems that our schools and our prison institutions have similar crumbling infrastructure that lacks this personalized move for our students to have a brighter future. For now, most of the recommendations for ending the school to prison pipeline include building up the personnel and creating personalized learning experiences within these skeletal structures. To help with this zero tolerance and very negative system, outreach organizations like the Shriver Center are relying on role models and opportunities for minority students.